Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien and we'll be talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in this live stream here. Currently the price of Bitcoin is at $84,611, up about 1% today. And yeah, let's get right into it, see what I can see in the charts. Bitcoin is looking pretty solid today, okay? Up about 1%. And if I turn on the moving averages here, you can see that Bitcoin is currently squeezed in between the 21 exponential moving average, which is this white line here at $83,000, and this red line here at 87,465, which is the 200-day moving average. I want to see Bitcoin get up to that $87,000 level, get up there, reclaim it, stay above it, okay? So that way we know that we can be well on our way onto a bull run here for Bitcoin. And I also want to see us get above, some of these highs that we made back here, where we as high as like 88,700, and then also this daily candle here at $88,560. I want to see Bitcoin get up to that area, recapture it, reclaim it. But what we got today is we're just trading sideways, just using the 21 exponential moving average as support. You see like these candles are bouncing off of the price here at the $83,000 area. Every time we go down to like $83,000, we get like a nice snapback rally back up to $84,000. If I zoom in here to the 4-hour chart, you'll see what I mean here. When we come down to like the $83,000 area, we get bounced off of that, which happens to be where this 200 moving average is sitting at for the 4-hour time frame here. So as long as we're above this 200 moving average, that red line on the 4-hour time frame, I can remain somewhat bullish here on Bitcoin, but I do want to see Bitcoin get above to $87,000 for me to be even more bullish on Bitcoin. Okay, but we'll take sideways better than going down, right? If we do go down for whatever reason, I do see probably here at the $80,000 area and $81,000 area as points where Bitcoin might get some support. Okay, if I go back to the daily chart, right? I didn't really draw this out here on this chart, but you can see that we have like some candle. We have a candle here that closed around 79,500, and also here opening at 79,500. Okay, so 79,500 or $80,000 would be a nice line for us to remain bullish as long as we are above that line. Okay, let me go ahead and just put that horizontal line there. Yeah, right. So I know that I want Bitcoin to stay above that red line right there, that horizontal line at 79,500. If we're not able to stay above 79,500, then we have to start being bearish again, or remain cautious on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin could be on its way to making lower lows if we lose that $79,500 level there. Okay. Usually I start off these live streams by looking at Bitcoin, but we can look at other cryptocurrencies. If you guys have any requests, any particular cryptocurrency you want me to talk about, we can look at these other cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin. All right. I know one that's making headlines right now is OM Mantra. Okay. Let's take a look at OM real quick here. This one was basically having a heart attack yesterday afternoon and last night. You'll see that Mantra had a very vicious red candle that came down. And I read some news here that the founders say that everything's fine and that they're going to be trying to do a buyback program where they're going to be buying back the cryptocurrency to help support the price. And you can see that's probably why this cryptocurrency stopped its free fall. This thing was trading as high as like $6.34 yesterday afternoon before it dropped down as low as 37 cents. But right now it's currently trading at 58 cents. I would still stay away from this crypto. I know most American investors can't even invest in this crypto because it's not even on the cryptocurrency exchange here in the United States. This exchange right here, Binance, has it. You can currently trade it here. But I mean, this is like catching a falling knife. I would stay away from this until we get some more news about what's going on with this crypto here. I mean, you could take you could do a nice small scalp trade and just see if you can catch the bottom here, buying it at 58 cents, and then maybe put a stop loss at like roughly 40 cents. Okay, because this thing got as low as like 46 cents earlier today. So I would try to stop the bleeding if this thing continues going down to like 40 cents. I mean, you can be losing about 33% on your stop loss if you plan it for 40-cent stop loss. But yeah, I'd be very careful trying to invest in or trade this crypto, because this thing could possibly go down. You might actually make sense to continue shorting this crypto, to be honest, than to actually try to make money on the upside here. This one has problems, okay, and we just don't know how many more problems it's going to have going into the future here, okay. Clearly below the 200-day moving average, clearly below the moving averages on the daily time frame. If we go to the weekly time frame, I mean, this is probably the only reason why this thing got a little bit of support, is because on the weekly time frame, you had the 200 moving average. This red line here was at about 77 cents, but it pierced right through that yesterday. And then today, we actually got back as high as like $1.09. But yeah, that 200 weekly moving average could be the reason why this thing actually got a little bit of support here. But yeah, I wouldn't really be trying to touch this unless I'm doing a small, like, degenerate gamble / scalp trade on this thing. All right, let's see. How's my viewers in the live stream doing? I apologize for my voice. I think I might be getting a little bit sick here. Sick of looking at this crypto. Let's take a look at some other cryptos here. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum on the daily chart is currently at $1,620, at up 1.4% today. Ethereum is still in a downtrend, all right, but looks like it's trying to get out of that downtrend. All right, let me try to clean this chart up a little bit. I'll get rid of the moving averages for now. As I start to zoom out, you can see that Ethereum is still in this downtrend that it was been in for a while here. But just like Bitcoin, it's trying to step out of that downtrend by going sideways. It would be a little bit more bullish if we actually went up instead of going sideways, but you know, sideways is just another way to get out of this downtrend that Ethereum is in. Right. Yeah. I can see it here at the MACD. We're starting to get a little bit of light red candles. Instead of red candles, we're getting kind of like almost like pink candles. So there is some buying pressure, or maybe you could say in another way, there's less selling pressure on the MACD. So maybe Ethereum might be forming a bottom here at the $1,500, $1,400 level. We did see Ethereum get down to like $1,300, $1,383. What, April 7th here. Let me see that. Let me go into the daily chart here. Yeah, we got us a little bit better. Yeah, we saw Ethereum on April 9th actually get down to like 1383. So yeah, Ethereum could be forming a bottom here, right? And if we just keep trading sideways out of this downtrend, then maybe we can start making higher lows and higher highs, actually start forming a bull trend as we kind of get out of this these low $1,200, $1,300 area with Ethereum. This could be the beginning of a cup and handle pattern, possibly. we might get like a rounded bottom here before we start going up to higher prices on Ethereum. Maybe you might see a $3,000 Ethereum in like the summer months here. That would be nice. Let me go ahead and turn on the VRVP. Let me get some more indicators in here. Oh wow, look at that. So my little drawing here put us at basically the point of control. Point of control for Ethereum is still at $2,600. That would be a nice area for Ethereum to climb itself back up to. I think by that point, if it does get to like $2,600, it might be sometime in May, and that would also probably be where the 200-day moving average will be trending down towards. But I mean, that's kind of far off into the future. I mean, 1 month's time is like feels like a year in cryptocurrency world. Every day feels like, you know, 1 week's worth of trading action, because these markets are trading 24/7 every single day. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice if we can get up to that price, right? Ethereum has a lot of work to do. If it does start climbing up to higher prices, the first take profit area would probably be at this point $1,800 or $1,900, where you got a high volume node currently sitting at the VRVP at about $1,900. That'd be my first take profit area. And then if we can get past $1,900, then there's a gap here on the VRVP, and you know, then we're talking like maybe $2,300 or even $2,400 Ethereum could be where some more significant resistance area is at. And that's because anybody that bought Ethereum back here in September and October of 2024, you know, once Ethereum gets up to like $2,400, that's basically where they bought it at. So those people, if they want to get out of crypto, they'll take that opportunity to get out and just break even at $2,400. So $2,400 might be a significant resistance area if Ethereum starts becoming bullish. I'm trying to create what could be the possible bearish case here for Ethereum. The bearish case for Ethereum is that it actually doesn't creep sideways and upward out of this downtrend, right? And we just keep on going down and to the right, down to the right here on Ethereum, right? This downtrend will still be in play. And if that's the case, then I think I have said that, you know, we could see $1,200 Ethereum based off the VRVP data here. All right, the VRVP would be these green and red bars here. If I zoom out a little bit further, maybe if I go into the weekly chart here, that's too much data. But as I start to zoom in a little bit here, you'll see that if I take the data starting from like the beginning of 2024, right, January 2024, you got some high volume here at like $1,500. Yeah, let's see. I could have sworn I seen like, yeah, here we go, $1,200. Yeah, you got like high volume here, like $1,200, $1,300. So if Ethereum continues being bearish, then you'll see $1,200, $1,300 coming up on deck. If we're gonna continue being bearish on Ethereum. So those are your bearish targets for Ethereum. All right, let's see. We got Thumbo101 in the chat. Any thoughts on Arc Block? Yeah, can you give me the ticker symbol for Arc Block? I could try typing it in, but I appreciate if you can give me the ticker symbol for that one. Let's see, anybody else? I think that's one of the first requests. Yeah, we'll take a look at Arc Block for you. ABT? Okay. All right, let's take a look at ABT. Arc Block. Oh wow. First, let me just look at this as just a regular naked chart without all the indicators here. You can see that this thing pretty much almost did like a round trip, right? Back here in January of 2024, you were trading at around 20 cents. Then you got up the initial pump of the altcoin season that we had in February of 2024, sent it up to higher prices, and you kind of topped out here in May of 2024 at around $4.70. And ever since then, you've just been making lower highs and lower lows Looks like even the Trump pump, there was a little bit of a Trump pump here in November, which that brought this thing back up to $2, right? But you're on in kind of like a falling wedge right now on this crypto here. If I just draw out the connect the lower lows here, right? Yeah. And you're in basically a falling wedge. And falling wedges, they usually break out to the upside. Okay, so there's a chance that we'll finally start going up to higher prices on this crypto. Let me turn on the VRVP here, see what the next levels might be for this crypto. You can see that we got a lot of volume here, currently sitting at about 9 or 10 cents here. So this thing could continue down to like 9, 10, 16 cents here, right? But if it does start to break out, you got some volume here at $1.10. Looks like some people want to get out at that price. I'll probably put that as my first take profit target at $1.10 if this thing breaks out to the upside. And like I said, falling wedges, they normally do break out to the upside about 70% of the time. So you got that going for you. You can strategize. I'm sorry, I just moved the falling wedge on you there. But you can strategize and put your stop loss probably at like just under these candle wicks here below. I'd probably say like 40 cents as the stop loss. So you got yourself maybe like a 20% stop loss. But if this thing does break out to the upside, right, then, you know, what do we got here for specific percentage gainer? If you could break out to the upside to $1.10, you got yourself roughly 45% gainer, okay, on this stock. I mean, on this crypto here, okay. Let me go ahead and pull out some more indicators here. Yeah, this thing is clearly below all its moving averages right now, moving average support. The 21 EMA, this white line, is acting as resistance right now at 63 cents. So that would probably be the first thing that I want to see this thing do, is get above 63 cents before I would start, you know, adding more money onto the position here for our block. And then after that, you know, like I said, this thing could be firing off to the upside here based off this falling wedge. Usually falling wedges, they break out basically to like where they started falling out from. So the breakout target would probably be like somewhere right about like $1.59, $1.60. So if that's the case, then this thing could possibly double, maybe even triple the amount of money that you put into this crypto. And, you know, with a 20-30% stop loss, you're risking 20% to get like 100% or maybe even 150%. So, all right. Yeah, we can take a look at Cardano. We'll do that one next. Appreciate the request there, Paul. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys, here if you appreciate the analysis that I got here for you. All right, Cardano. Looking at the daily time frame here on Cardano. We have Cardano currently trading at 63 cents. And as I zoom in here on the daily chart, we can see that 21 EMA, right, is still acting as resistance for this crypto as well. Okay, this white line, 21 EMA. It's currently sitting at 65 cents. Once you can get above that 21 EMA and actually use it as a line of support instead of resistance, then you can start adding some more to your Cardano position here. But I wouldn't really get fully optimistic, totally optimistic on Cardano until it gets above this 200-day moving average, that red line, at 74 cents, okay? And if I go into put on the VRVP here, I think we covered Cardano yesterday, but we can talk about it again here today. You got the point of control at 73 cents, where a lot of people bought and traded and settled up here on Cardano at 73 cents. So 73 cents, that blue line, is my next take profit target on Cardano, which also happens to be where the 0.382 retracement level is on this Fibonacci analysis that I had for Cardano, where we topped out here at about $1.33 on Cardano back in November. This impulse move says that the 0.382 level, 72 cents, is probably your first take profit target on Cardano. And then after that, you got another take profit target at like 83 cents. But that 83 cents doesn't really have that much volume on the VRVP here. Okay. So we might actually cut right through 83 cents and then head on over towards actually about 95 cents, where you got the value area high, this white line, and a lot of volume at this level at 95 cents. So I see, like, long term, Cardano has probably about a 50% move up to the upside in the future here, where we get back up to just shy of $1 at the 95 cent level. And then after that, we'll see if Cardano can actually get above $1 and stay above $1. All right, but I think near term, realistically speaking, about 95 cents should be your long-term price target for Cardano. In the near future, though, like within the next week or two, you'll want 73 cents to be your price target, your take profit target, which is where the point of control is sitting at for Cardano. And then you could just plan on putting a stop loss probably about 10 cents lower, probably at like around 53 cents. If you really want to be safe, you can put it below this candle wick here at like maybe 50 cents is where you could probably put your stop loss on Cardano. And if you lose 50 cents, then that probably means that Cardano's still in a downtrend here. And you don't want anything to do with Cardano if it goes below 50 cents, because look at this. You got a big gap in the VRVP, and it says that the first stop would be Cardano going down to 44 cents. You got a little bit of volume there, but then it could just continue on and break right through that and come right on down to like 35 cent Cardano. Okay? And 35 cent Cardano would be the ultimate support level, because looking back here in October of 2024, Cardano was trading at 35 cents before we got that Trump pump. Okay? Before Donald Trump came into power. All right. So those are my bearish and bullish targets there for Cardano. Yeah, we can take a look at a PNG. Let me see if there's any other requests here. Yeah, we'll take a look at the PNG. All right. See that Porky's in the live stream on my YouTube stream here. Porky is asking if we're bullish or pullback coming. Porky, you already know the answer to that. We're bullish if Trump keeps his mouth shut. We're bearish every time he speaks, it seems. And Love Guru, you're saying that I told you not to buy OM. I suggested that, and you're grateful for that. You're welcome. Because that thing is a hot mess right now. All right, let's see. PNG. The only good bit of news that I got for OM for you, Love Guru, is that the Mantra team did say that they're trying to do a buyback program for their crypto, but who knows what's going on. I mean, they only got one guy to go on Cointelegraph and say that that they're trying to do that. Who knows what the other founders are doing, or if they're even still a team. And there could be just one guy saying that, but the rest of them are selling, so they're not legally obligated to keep their crypto at a high price. They can do whatever they want, and it seems like a rug pull, and now they're trying to cover their butts now, so they don't get in trouble with the law by buying back that crypto. But anyways, going back to this other request that I got here, we're looking at Pangolin, currently trading at 12.5 cents. And let's see, I never looked at this crypto here before, so I'm just getting familiar with it. Seems like this crypto was trading sideways for the most part at like the point of control, which is currently at like 24 cents. So a lot of people that bought this crypto they're underwater right now, which could be a good thing for you to actually buy in now, because that means most of the sellers are not going to start showing up to start selling until we get back up to 24 cents, which you got this high volume node here at 24 cents. And then, you know, the people that bought here last year at 24 cents, they'll be able to actually sell and just break even and call it a day. So this thing could pop itself back up to 24 cents is basically what I'm trying to tell you here. My VRVP keeps changing every time I move the chart around, but it looks like 24 cents is your point of control. So I would put that as my first take profit target. If you really are day trading this, you got another VRVP high volume node here at like 17 cents. So if this thing continues to be bullish, you could start taking profit at 17 cents. And I think that's roughly like a 50% gain from where it is right now. I'll just measure that out right now, so you can get an idea. Like if you buy here at 12 cents and this thing goes up to like 17 cents, that's mainly like a 38% gain. Okay. Maybe if it gets up to like what? What are we looking at here now? If it gets up to like 19 cents, you could get yourself a nice 50% gain. Okay. But yeah, is this thing, can we get bullish on this yet? I don't really see any higher lows yet on the daily time frame here on this crypto. I would hope that this is the last red candle here, and then we can just count this as the higher low here. But we'll see. This thing could come right back down as low as like almost like 11 cents and still create a higher low before it goes up to higher prices here. And you could still say that you're in the beginning of a bull trend here. I would have to see if there's any bullish divergence here. Let's see if I pull up some more indicators here. If we got some bullish divergence showing, because that would make me feel better about this crypto here, about being bullish if it has bullish divergence, right? I do see lower lows obviously on the price here, and I mean, could you count this as higher lows? Let's see, we got a low here at like 35, and then here at 36 and 37. All right, so barely, you're just barely squeaking by with a little bit of bullish divergence here. Okay. So you could start to say that this thing is starting to bottom out here, right? We don't have any double bottoms yet. We don't have any higher lows yet. We could be in the process of creating higher lows here. So I would just be cautiously optimistic on this cryptocurrency for now. Just know that, you know, we could possibly reject off this 21 EMA at like 13.5 cents here. This might be the high water mark here, and then we could come back down to lower prices. Okay. And if we did come down to lower prices here, let's see, I see some sideways trading action here at like 8 or 9 cents, so maybe that might be the next level that it might try to garner some support. But yeah, I mean, this crypto, if you didn't buy over here and it comes to revisit this level, I would try to buy right back at like 10 cents. Okay, and then just put a stop loss at 9 cents. And if you lose 9 cents, then this thing probably is going to continue going to lower prices, and you probably want nothing to do with it until it gets down to like, what, 8 cents. And you could try all over again, try to buy back in again. That's how I would try to play that if you're bottom fishing over here. We have a request for Damon Incorporated stock. Can you give me the ticker symbol for that? I'll try typing it in, but appreciate it if you can give me the ticker symbol if you got it. But yeah, let's take a look at Damon. Similar to my own name. Alright, yeah, I think I found it here. Damon. Wow. Okay, you guys love bottom fishing here. This one is also, what was it? This thing IPO'd here in November of 2024 at around like almost $5 here. And it immediately sold off. Jeez. Why are you interested in this stock here? I don't get it. That's not a good day to. That's not a good way to start trading on the Nasdaq. For you to start your first day going down $2, almost losing 50%, and then the next day you lose 24%, and then the next day after that you lose 18%. And like, remind you, this is like while Donald Trump got elected in November of last year. So every other stock is like pumping while this thing is dumping. Jesus, do you enjoy pain? Because that's all the stock has done is create pain for whoever bought and invested in this stock here. I'm being honest. I'm not even trying to be funny. This is very painful to watch here. Wow. Okay. I guess I did some previous chart work here. You must have requested this from me or somebody else did. But yeah, you've been making lower lows here on the price as this downward trend line is showing here. Looking at the RSI here. Jeez. Like, what exactly is going on here? You had RSIs as low as like 12, and like anything below 30 on the RSI is considered oversold. So you're over here, they have RSIs of like 13, 14 back in December, and then you even hit RSI levels of like 18, 15. The stock, I mean, this is something that has to do is dealing with motor vehicles and auto stock. What is there anything that tells me more about this company here? This company was founded on October 17th of 2023. It's in Canada. Manufactures scientific software and electric personal mobility products. I guess they're not doing so well with manufacturing and selling their products at a profit, because this thing is just tanking. I'm not sure what kind of analysis you want me to give you on this one. I don't have any moving averages yet because this thing hasn't been around for that long for us to even get some moving averages here. Maybe if I go into the shorter time frames here, I could probably start seeing some data show up. Like maybe if I go into the 1 hour chart. All right, then you got some moving averages showing up here. Okay. But I can't have any confidence that this thing will not just continue going down and to the right some more. I would love to see, at least on the 1 hour time frame, if this thing can just show us that it can get above the 200 moving average, that red line. Okay. It's never gotten above that. All right, I take that back. It has gone above the red line. Only back here in January 6th, January 7th. But other than that, it's just, this thing has just been, the way to make money is to just continue short selling it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I won't actually get bullish on this thing until it gets above that 200 moving average. That's the long story. My simple analysis on this thing. I really can't do any more analysis on this. Kind of makes you want to throw up. I think this is worse than some of these cryptos out here. All right, we got another request here. We got Popcat. Take a look at Popcat. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, we'll take a look at Popcat for the next request here. Now we're looking at the meme coins. Do I want to see, which one do I want to see it on? I'll try Mexi. Go into the daily time frame here. Popcat currently trading at 27 cents. Up 11% today. Okay. Yeah, let's look at we'll get the daily time frame here on Popcat. And what has Popcat done here? It seems like we came down to some lows. The lowest price you could have got Popcat was a few days ago at 12 cents on April 8th. maybe even 11 and a half cents here on April 9th. This looks like it was kind of like following the double bottom pattern that Bitcoin was making last week. So it looks like it's traded in sympathy with that, and now you got above the 21 EMA. So that's the first thing to get this trend to reverse here, is get above that 21 EMA, and then as this 21 EMA starts curving back up to higher prices here and tries to catch up to where the price is at, you might see the price come back down to the 21 EMA and then use that as a line of support now that you're above it. You don't want to lose that 21 EMA though, because if you do, then then this thing is just going to continue going to lower prices. What you do have coming up on deck though is you got this 50 moving average coming down like a bat out of hell, and looks like it might provide some resistance here at 30 cents. So you're getting close to the take profit target. I know there's other traders and investors that are looking at that 50 moving average, and they're probably looking to sell their PopCat at 30 cents. So there might be a little bit of front running going on right now as people sell right before the 50 moving average hits. So that's probably why you only topped out. You topped out at 29 cents here, 28.289 and 29 cents. Yeah, so you got some people that are front running the 50 moving average right now, and they're selling at 29 cents as a good enough target for them, because it looks like 30 cents is probably going to be where you get some more resistance on this crypto here. But you got a long way to go before you get back to like the prices that you've seen back here in November when this thing was at like $1.88. We go ahead and turn on that VRVP. This is what the VRVP is looking like on PopCat. Point of control, the most important level where there's a lot of volume with all the data that we got here, is currently at 16 cents. So you're clearly above the point of control. And now you're trying to see if you can get up to the value area high here, this white line at 52 cents. It's another important volume level where a lot of traders and investors were buying PopCat at around 50 cents, especially back here in September of 2024 and August of 2024. You got a lot of candle wicks close and people settling up at that area. So now that you're above the point of control, you want to probably have your first take profit target at like 50 cents. Okay, so once we get above 30 cents, I would probably then target 50 cents as my next take profit target on this crypto. I'm not sure if you'll ever see $1 or $1.50 or $1.80 on this crypto, but I think your safest bet is you could definitely, at least in the short term, double your money by selling at like 50 cents here, or a little bit above 50 cents. And yeah, you could probably double your trade or your investment here on PopCat. But yeah, it looks like if PopCat, right? If PopCat can actually not go down to 12 cents again, then if it does come down to the point of control at 19 cents, if it gets a bounce or a reaction off that area and just uses that as like a area of support and goes up to higher prices, then you can count that as a higher low. We're just game planning this out. In theory, if this thing does come down and gets bounced off this area, you count that as a higher low, and now you can then look for higher highs and be looking for a bull trend to be forming here on PopCat. So that's what we're looking for if we're going to continue being bullish here on PopCat. You should try to request this crypto from me maybe a week from now. We'll see how things play out here, especially if like going into May, and we'll see if this thing actually follows my theory here of creating a higher low at the point of control and then going up to higher prices after that. All right. We got some more requests here. Let's see. Jordan, you're asking about Assemble AI. take a look at that. If you give me the ticker symbol for that, other than that, I'm just going to type in assemble AI and see what comes up. All right, let's look at assemble. ASM USD, that's what I got here. Trading on Coinbase too. And Love Guru says that OM won't get your love. Yeah, unless you really know what you're doing with trading and you're willing to be in and out real quick, and know how to use your stop losses to prevent yourself from losing a lot of money, I wouldn't really be touching OM, to be honest. And I don't think if you're an American investor, I don't think you can actually buy OM unless you're using a VPN and using a foreign exchange. Let me see. All right, so here we are. We're looking at assemble AI. Currently trading at 2.5 cents, down 7% today. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so here we go. We got the VRVP going here, and assemble AI has been in a falling wedge, which normally breaks out to the upside. Okay, and it looks like I've done previous chart work on here before, because obviously this thing is still here. I have the downward trend line here, another downward trend line. And I just measured from previous chart work, you know, from the top of the falling wedge to the bottom of the falling wedge could be a measured move. And if we break out, looks like we're breaking out right here in this area. It's saying that the measured move take profit target for assemble is going to be this blue number here at like almost 4 cents, 0.038 pennies here. 0.03869 for you 69 lovers out there. Yeah, and that makes sense. That makes sense because you got a high volume node here at roughly 4 cents. So I still think that the take profit target for this crypto is going to be 4 cents. And yeah, you are breaking out to the upside out of this falling wedge. Okay, you're in the beginnings of it. Okay. Now, I think the next nearest take profit target short-term for you short-term day traders out there is going to be this point of control, which is currently sitting at about 3 cents. That blue line right there. I think you should be targeting 3 cents as your first take profit target. And you might, you know, see this thing come up to 3 cents, then come back down, retest this value area low, this white line here at 2.5 cents again, before you go up and try to reach higher prices and get up to like 4 cents. I would target 4 cents as the next take profit target, and you're almost doubling your money once you get to that point there. But once we get above 4 cents, you got a declining volume here on the VRVP, and then you got the value area high, which could be your next take profit target at like 5 cents. So I would start targeting these take profit target levels. Your first one should be 3 cents. Then the next one is going to be roughly around 4 cents, and then 5 cents. 3, 4, 5 should be easy, right? To make some money on this crypto, easy enough to remember. Just using the VRVP here. I didn't even turn on the moving averages. Let's see if the moving averages are providing any support or resistance. I'm going to go ahead and turn those on for you right now. Let's see. Yeah, and that the moving averages look like they're also going to be a good area to be targeting as well, because looks like right here, you know, I said what, 0.03869 is the target out of this falling wedge, and that puts you right back at the 50 moving average at like 0.0389. Okay, so I think 4 pennies is your ultimate take profit target on this crypto going forward, at least in the near future here. And then you just got to take it one day at a time after that. So 4 pennies should be your target on assemble. All right. You want me to lie to you and say it's gonna go to 75 cents or $1? I see MMA Squires in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat there, Esquire. All right. Well, you know, if you want me to lie to you, I mean, let's see if it has even gotten up to that price, because maybe I don't have to lie to you. Looking back, this thing was as high as 16 cents on February of last year. And then back here in 2021, it was as high as like 21 cents. Let me just zoom in here. I think it was even higher than that. 26 cents. So, truthfully speaking, this thing could go up to 25 cents. And if it does that, that's a 10x. And I'm not even lying to you. But I will lie to you and say, yeah, it could go up to 75 cents or $1. And then you got yourself, what, a 40x. But that's me lying to you. Truthfully speaking, let's see if it can get up to 25 cents first. Like it did back in October of 2021. But, maybe I could do a Fibonacci analysis here, and I could give you some more hopium here, okay? Let's see, if we measure out from 26 cents down to where it's currently trading at 2.5 cents, you got a 1618 fib node here that says it could get up to like 40 cents, and then the 2618 level says that it could get up to 64 cents, and then 4.236 levels says that it could get up to $1. Highly unlikely, very improbable, but always a possibility. There you go. That's my analysis there for your hopium on Assemble. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll promise you 25 cents on this one. Okay. Especially if we get a crazy altcoin season later on this year. I think that's possible. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at some of all these cryptos here. Let's take a look at AVAX. I don't think I've talked about AVAX. I don't remember talking about that on my last stream. But I have done previous chart work here on AVAX Avalanche. Currently trading at $20.18, up 3% today. AVAX is doing some nice things here on the chart, you know, with this double bottom here, okay? You know, you just measure the double bottom, right? From where the double bottoms are at to the top and between the two double bottoms. And you get this measure move here, and you just put that measure move on top of the top. And it gives you a price target of like $30 for AVAX, which makes sense because, you know, if AVAX does start climbing up to higher prices here, you do have this 200 moving average at $30, which will act as resistance initially before AVAX is able to reclaim it and use it as support. So that is my take profit target on AVAX. You got the 200 moving average and the double bottom saying that it could get up to like $30 there before you get some profit taking going on. But let me turn on the VRVP, see what the VRVP has to say as far as levels are concerned here. VRVP is saying that the point of control is at $25 based off this data that goes back to like April of 2024. So a lot of people are underwater on Avalanche right now, and they probably won't be selling until it gets to $25, and then they'll just be breaking even, and then they won't have to count it as a loss anymore. And once you get past $25, you got a gap here in the VRVP where, you know, I say the target is $30, but, you know, that's actually the lowest amount of volume. AVAX might even skip $30 and then start coming up to like maybe $34, or it might even come up to the value area high at like $37 before it gets a reaction and gets some resistance here. So I think this thing has some room to run. you might be able to get a double, a 2x on Avalanche here. If you can get up to that value area high of like $37. Might be worth throwing your hat in the ring there. But let's see, could AVAX come down now? Let me just zoom into the chart here a little bit more. Okay. I mean, you would have to lose the double bottom, which has been a clear area of support. That double bottom was support at $15 here. And if you lose that, then yeah, I mean, you could come down even lower on AVAX. As I zoom out here some more, you got the value area low is sitting at $8 on Avalanche. So you could still lose 50% of your money on Avalanche. That's why it's important to put some stop loss. You know, instead of losing 50% of your money, maybe you put your stop loss at like 14 or 15 bucks. So you're only going to lose 25% of your money instead of 50. MMA Squire, what's going on? You're asking for help? Hello? I see you. I see you in the chat. All right. Guys, if you're new to the channel and you're liking this technical analysis and you're looking to see some more technical analysis where we go a deep dive into the charts here on your favorite cryptocurrencies and stocks, then I suggest that you guys hit that follow button if you're on TikTok for my TikTok streamers, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're a YouTube streamer. I'm sorry, YouTube guy, viewer, and go ahead and come join the Meet Damien community here, okay? Where we do a deep dive on all these stocks and cryptos. Using my technical analysis, it gives us an idea as like what we can plan here in the future for like where we're gonna put our stop losses, where our take profit targets should be. Realistically speaking, how high can these cryptos actually go in the near term, in the long term. All right. Appreciate the likes here. Thanks for liking the stream, guys. Let's move on to another crypto that I like talking about here. We'll look at Ripple, and then we'll look at Solana after that. XRP, Ripple at $2.13. And we're just looking at the VRVP here on XRP. It says that the point of control is at $2.40. That is going to be your first take profit target if you're bullish on XRP and want to make some money here. So yeah, that's about roughly a 10% move up from where you are right now. Okay. If Ripple is not going to be bullish and we come down here to lower prices, you got your value area low sitting at $1.75 now. That is an area where we already got a reaction back here on April, I believe April 7th, April 8th here, where we saw XRP come down to like $1.77. Okay, this could be where you put your stop loss at for Ripple. If you lose $1.77, you might come down a little bit lower to $1.45, $1.50 on XRP Ripple here. That's where you got a significant high volume nose sitting at $1.45, $1.47 here. If Ripple loses that, then you know it's gonna hurt some more, and then you might see some more support for Ripple at $1.12. Okay, but if Ripple is gonna be bullish here, then we are targeting that point of control here at $2.40. And once you get past $2.40, $2.50, you have a very steep gap in the VRVP, and you're not going to see a significant resistance until you get to like $3 XRP. And then you got the value area high currently sitting at $3.11, this white line right here. So those of you who are new to the VRVP, it's this green and red bar that I use on the right side here. These green and red bars here gives you an idea as like how much volume is at certain price levels here. It gives you a very clear picture where people bought and sold this asset that you're looking at. And the blue line is the point of control, which is where the majority, over 50% of the volume, was traded at. So usually that's the line where most people with this asset is going to end up going back to. You can think of it as like a big giant magnet. Okay. And then the value area low is just below the point of control. And I have it labeled with this white line here. That's where 50% of the volume is currently traded at. And then the other 15% of volume is also at this value area high, which is above the point of control. And usually the price, if you're range bound, will just bounce back and forth between the value area high down to the value area low. And most of the time it comes right back to the point of control. But if you're range bound, you might come right back to the value area high again, then come down to the point of control, then come down to the point of the value area low, then bounce off of that, come right back to the point of control, and just ping pong between the two white lines here. Okay, until we get some resolution as to like, are we actually going to go up or are we going to go down? But right now, XRP is just trading sideways, and it's been trading sideways for the most part since December of 2024. That's why I like using the VRVP. Lets me know where we are in the range that we're in right now. Okay, and right now still seems to be a good area to be buying and putting in longs on Ripple and XRP, because you could see that $2.50 point of control, and then you could also see this thing come up to $3 before you start selling and trying to make a profit here. Pope Thor, you're asking me my thoughts on Ethereum. We did cover Ethereum early in the live chat and in the live stream here, but I'll take a quick look at it and summarize it for you. And then Dizzle is asking here about Move. We'll take a look at Move. Okay. But yeah, that's my analysis there on Ripple. We'll go back into Ethereum from my buddy here, Poke. And yeah, the VRVP should be a free indicator that you can use on TradingView. TradingView should allow you to use the VRVP. If it doesn't, then you just have to subscribe. And I think TradingView is having a sale right now for Easter, where you get 80% off of most of their subscription plans. So it might not cost you that much money to actually get the VRP indicator if you have to pay for it. Excuse me. All right, so we're looking at Ethereum right now, currently at 1621. Just using the VRVP to summarize the analysis here. If Ethereum continues to be bearish and we're going down some more on Ethereum, then you got the VRVP saying that $1,200 should be a good support level for Ethereum. I think we've already seen Ethereum peek its head towards $1,300, but $1,300 is also another high volume node here on Ethereum. Currently right now, Ethereum is at the point of control, right? That blue line. But if Ethereum is bullish, then you got the next high volume node here at $1,800. We'd like to see Ethereum try to capture and reclaim that level. And once you get above $1,800, there's a big gap here. And then you got the value area high saying that Ethereum could be a $2,300 asset here. And that should be your take profit target in the future here for Ethereum. And then anything after that is just gravy. Okay, you got like another high volume node here at $2,600, which could be another take profit target. And then you got more significant volume here at like $3,300 is where Ethereum could possibly go in the future here. And I would definitely be selling my Ethereum once it gets to $3,000. Anything above $3,000, you should be selling your Ethereum, because at that point you're actually gonna be basically doubling your money if Ethereum does go to $3,000. And that's my summarized analysis there on Ethereum. Okay. Moving on to movement. All right. Don't I see on Coinbase? Is that good enough data for me? I don't know. I think I want to use another exchange here for move. Let's try it on Binance. Oh, okay. It's almost the same looking chart here. Okay. All right. So we're still looking at here using the VRVP on movement here. Movement is currently trading at 29 cents. And this one is below most of the volume here on the VRVP. It's saying that your value area low could put you at 58 cents for movement, and your point of control is at 70 cents. So a lot of people are currently underwater right now on their investment in movement, which means that there might not be that many more people selling this crypto, which could lead to higher prices in the near future. Possibly. No guarantees. But if you're buying here at 29 cents, then you are targeting, your first target would be that 59 cent area. And then 70 cents, that blue line, would be your point of control where you should strongly consider selling your movement. And by that point, you basically doubled your money if you're currently buying right now at 29 cents, because 70 cents, yeah, that's more than a double. Could this thing possibly get back up to the value area high? That would be nice, and if it does, you'll be seeing $1.09 if this thing can get back up to the value area high. But right now you're kind of like no man's land right now, because we never seen this crypto as low as it is right now. Could this possibly be a double, maybe even a triple bottom? Right now, this thing got as low as like 28 cents here on Monday, April 14th. We saw it also at 28 cents on April 9th, and we've seen it at 28 cents as well on April 7th. You can strategically place your stop loss at like 27 cents, and then you don't really have to lose that much money on this crypto. Because I believe that's like a less than like 5 or 10% stop loss. And you got a lot of room to the upside if this thing is going to go up to higher prices. Now, let's see if there's any bullish divergence. Looking at the RSI for this crypto. Because I see the possibility of a double, maybe a triple bottom. But that can be invalidated if we go lower than 28 cents. Let's see. We have a low here of like 29 on the RSI back on February 24th. Then we had 31. All right, so let me just double check. That was 29 back here. Then you got 31 showing up over here. 32. Okay. So not as strong, but still a shallow bullish divergence, because you're creating lower lows on the price, but you're creating higher lows on the RSI, which means that buyers are actually stepping up to the plate and buying at these levels here. Let's see if the MACD also agrees. We want to see some buying pressure show up on this crypto. I gotta continue zooming in here. Oh boy. All right, let's see. Yeah. Wow, okay, I'm still trying to zoom in here. But you can see the MACD starting to show up. Okay, there we go. Now I got some MACD. MACD is showing that we had some significant selling pressure back here on April 7th. But you got some light red or pink candles showing up. It means the selling pressure is starting to decline now. However, the last couple of days, we do have red candles showing up again on the MACD. So we're not done yet with the selling. But if this thing flips and you get a MACD flip, you might see some buying pressure show up, and then you get some green candles, and you might be actually catching the bottom here on movement. So we could be close to bottoming out here on your movement crypto. That is my analysis there for you. All right. You want me to do a 30-minute window on movement, I believe? Yeah, well, you don't. No. Pokey, you requested Ethereum, and right now we're looking at movement. And you're asking me about 30-minute time frame on Ethereum? Is that what you're asking me? And then I got Kivo. Kivo wants me to look at IMG. Yeah, I'll take a look at IMG for you. Yeah, I'll look at IMG. Infinite money glitch. I believe that's the crypto I'm gonna look at. Currently trading on CoinEx. And infinite money glitch is currently down 14% today. And what do we got here? Down 14%. This thing is what, 0.006 pennies? And we're looking at the daily chart here. Let's see, I'm just familiarizing myself with this chart. We didn't start trading this thing on this exchange until February 25th of 2025. So this is a relatively new crypto here. Don't really have that much data on it. Looks like we bottom out here at like 0.002 pennies. I'm just gonna say 2096 level. So this thing has already done a 3x since the middle of March. So congratulations to those who bought at that price. You can now triple your money right now. It looks like you reversed the trend, at least on the 21 EMA. It was going down and now it's going back up. You want to hold this 21 EMA as support. That 21 EMA is sitting at 54.76. So you could start buying at these levels here. Maybe put a stop loss below that 21 EMA. Let me do a Fibonacci analysis here. Okay, so we topped out here at like almost 1 penny. We came down to around 1600 level. Your fib levels are saying that if this thing does continue going down, right? 0.32 retracement at like 0.005 pennies, which is basically where the 21 EMA is at. So, you know, you could scoop up some more of this cryptocurrency at like the 5100 level, I would say. And you're just hoping that this thing maintains that 21 EMA as support. If not, then you could be coming down to that 0.236 level, and you're looking at like 37.97 as your bearish target if this thing does go further down to the downside here. Yeah, okay. But if we do go up to higher prices here, then you got the 1618 saying that this thing could be a penny and a half, 0.016 pennies later on in the future here. And if it does that, you're basically, you got another 3x on this crypto here, if it can do that. Yeah. That's my analysis there on IMG. I think that's all I can do because this thing hasn't been around for that long. Oh, Kevo, you're saying that IMG gives you rewards in Solana for holding it? That's nice. So there's some staking rewards. Well, if it does that, then it might have some long-term potential future in it. If it pays you back, I mean, it's probably going to stick around for a while. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing to know. But like, why not just buy Solana and just, you know, stake Solana? Why would you want to be in this one? Except for maybe the volatility, maybe. Maybe you might be able to make more money being in this versus Solana. I don't know. Volatility. You know, you're welcome for the analysis. Appreciate if you hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Appreciate the compliment. Alright, I think I'll go back to Ethereum one more time because my buddy here was asking about the 30-minute time frame. I'm not sure why he wanted me to look at the 30-minute time frame. Trying to see if anything sticks out to me on Ethereum on a 30-minute time frame. All I see is that Ethereum is above most of the moving averages on a 30-minute time frame, so that's good to see. Well, we just dip ourselves below the 21 EMA on a 30-minute time frame, but you know, you got yourself, you know, higher lows here on the 30-minute time frame, which is good to see. RSI, we did get a little bit overbought here on Monday around like 6 o'clock in the morning. We got a little bit overbought on the RSI. I'm not sure why you want me to look at the 30-minute time frame here. It just looks normal and slightly bullish for Ethereum on the 30-minute time frame. I guess here on the 30-minute time frame is zoomed in enough to see that, you know, the downward trend line that Ethereum has been in at, it's now peeking its head above that downward trend line. If we can just go up and to the right some more, then maybe you can know for sure that Ethereum is actually getting out of the downtrend that it's been in. This downtrend has been vicious. If I just zoom out some more, you can see that Ethereum has been in this downtrend for a while, going back to like, I mean, if going all the way back to December here, that yellow line, right? That yellow line has been a downtrend, but Ethereum has peaked its head out of the downtrend before, only for it to then go back below the downtrend again. So we can't really be too excited about Ethereum getting out of the downtrend here. We gotta see some more upside here on Ethereum. Like I said, I wouldn't really be cautiously optimistic on Ethereum until it gets above like $1,900, $2,000 psychological level. Will probably ring pretty loud in the heads of a lot of people when they see Ethereum back at $2,000. So maybe that'll be the price that actually gets people excited again to be in Ethereum. But yeah, I don't really know why you wanted me to look at the 30-minute time frame. OM is your new coin for a few hours. Oh, you like to play it risky, huh? Be careful with OM. I do not like what's going on over there. They said that they're doing a buyback program, and that's the only bit of good news that's coming out of that crypto. But that could just be the founders covering their butt, trying to get better prices as they continue selling the rest of their coins and pulling the rug on everybody that bought OM. I don't really do those mathematical equations there, Call. Y equals mx plus b for the trade. I just use downtrends, and if I see an uptrend, I'll draw that, you know, using the trend lines here. But yeah, I don't really do equations. All right, I don't think I had a chance to look at Solana this whole time. I've been getting all these requests. We'll look at Solana, and then if that's, you know, if there's no more requests coming in, then I think I'll go ahead and end the live stream there. All right, we're looking at Solana right now, currently trading at $129, just shy of 130 bucks. Is it gonna get there? Oh, there's 130 bucks. Solana up 1.32% today. And what's going on with Solana? Solana did get up and recapture the 0.382 Fibonacci level. That was sitting at 125 bucks. That's good to see. The next Fibonacci level would be the 0.5 at $158, and then the 0.618 at 190 bucks. We'll see what happens when Solana gets up to 190 bucks. That could be the ultimate take profit target, at least in the near future here for Solana. And it could also be an area where Solana could form a lower high, to be honest. Let me go ahead and turn on the VRVP, and I'll turn on the moving average as well. Let's see, we'll go into full mode here. All the indicators. We'll take the VRVP off for now. But yeah, moving averages are showing that there's some resistance here at 181 bucks on the 200-day moving average, and this 50-day moving average is also coming down. It's probably going to act as resistance at some point if Solana does continue to climb up higher. And it might actually, you know, if Solana does continue climbing up higher and this thing keeps on going down lower, this 50-day green line, they might actually meet and converge at that $158 level, which is where the 0.5 retracement level is at. Okay, so that might actually be the next resistance that's going to come up for Solana here. But once Solana gets above the 50-day moving average, then, you know, the 200 and the 100, which is sitting at 180 bucks here, that could be the next resistance level for Solana. And then I'll turn on the VRVP here, and it might tell us where there's some high volume nodes to look out for here. Okay, so all right, give this thing a chance to load up. Point of control is at 140 bucks. That's a level that Solana is magnetically going to be attracted to, so that thing should pull the price of Solana up if it continue being bullish. Then you got the gap here, and the gap says that $160. So yeah, $160 Solana should be your next price target after 140 bucks. Then comes 160. After 160, then comes 180, and then we'll be talking about $200 Solana at some point. You got the value area high at 198 bucks, and psychological level $200. It's probably going to be some resistance there as well. If Solana continues being bearish, though, you got the value area low in a high volume node here at about roughly psychological level of $100 level there. If we lose $100 on Solana, then you got the VRVP gap here, and it says that Solana should be coming down to 74 bucks. And if it loses that, then there's another support level here at like 60 bucks for Solana. So that's if you're going to see more bearish price action on Solana. And I think I'm going to end the live stream on that because I don't really have that many more requests here. We already looked at OM early in the live stream. I would stay away from that one unless you really know what you're doing and you're keeping your stop losses tight. It could go up or it could go down. Either way, whichever way you plan on it for OM, keep your stop losses tight so you don't lose too much money on that, on whatever trade, whatever direction you're betting it to go. But as of now, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I appreciate you coming on to live stream, and don't forget to look for my live streams around this time is when I normally go live. Sometimes I go a little bit earlier in the afternoons, anywhere between 3 p.m. East Coast time to like 6 p.m. East Coast time. All right, guys. Good luck trading and investing whatever asset you decide to get yourselves invested in here. And just as a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that looks at the charts, gives you my opinions. This is not financial advice. Take care, guys.